Prostitutes of Reddit, what is the weirdest, out the norm non-sexual thing you have been paid to do? You're probably looking for funny, amusing answers, but the only non-sexual things I've done with clients are listen patiently while some religious guy tries to reform me of my sinful ways, sit and watch movies with a nice, lonely guy, and you'd be surprised how many guys just want to sit and have a conversation. I have a friend who is a stripper and I'm no longer surprised by how many guys just want to have a conversation. It was actually depressing the first time she started talking about that aspect of her job. So many guys in such terrible marriages, and they just fork over money to talk about it. Actually, it's basically like a therapist who is hot and will show you her boobs. Makes sense. My friend's a dominatrix, and she got paid $1,000 to sit on top of a coffin the guy is lying in for 3H. She did her homework while doing that. Made me consider prostitution. Dominatrix and prostitute are not the same. Dominatrix do not usually have sex with their clients, just humiliate them, order them around, beat them, etc. A coworker said he paid a Craigslist hooker to dress up nice and go with him to his mother's funeral and the reception afterwards because he didn't want to be given a hard time about being alone. Okay, this makes me sad just typing it. Oh gosh, you went to your mother's funeral, stag? What point a loser? This makes zero sense to me. Old friend of mine responded to a Craigslist ad looking for someone who wanted to make $2,000. When my buddy gets to the dude's apartment, there are balloons all over the floor and the client asks him to strip naked and tape rows of tacks facing out to the soles of his feet so that he could pop all the balloons while the client films it. Guess that's sort of sexual, but pretty damn weird. Hooker here. Paid £1,400 to go to a yacht gathering in Scotland. I live in London. The guy was awful. He hired me for a gangbang swingers party on another occasion. Same pay rate. I would like to note that I didn't realize it was a gangbang until then, and it was a bit late by that time. Not me, but same guy. He paid a girl £500 to stand outside a fast food chain, can't remember which one, for 2 hours wearing a Blink costume, saying in a weird, high-pitched voice flail, 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 and flailing with it. Was once paid £50 to hang out with a guy and get drunk with him in a pub for a couple hours. Was fun enough. Was paid £200 by a guy to go out to dinner with him on the South Bank. He also paid for dinner and walked me to the station. Felt kind of bad taking his money, but offering refund would have been far more awkward. These are rare exceptions, I should add. I dated a stripper, and one night she came home with several $100s more than a normal night. She said she had a customer who told her she looked like his niece. He spent $500 on lap dances from her, while he called her his niece's name and she grinded on him calling him Uncle Greg. My buddy paid a prostitute to clean his house naked. It would have been okay if he woke me up and told me before leaving for work. My friend Steve had just bought a game that he really wanted to play with someone else, but he didn't have an online account and none of his friends were around, so he called an agency and hired an escort for an hour to play the game with him. She had so much fun that she just stayed for about 4 more hours for free. I thought it was quite sweet of both of them. My sister is a prostitute and a lot of guys pay her just to be seen with her in public. Some of them use her so other people don't think they're gay. Not a prostitute, but I heard a story, can't recall from where, that 2 guys hired 2 prostitutes, took them back to their apartment, and played video games with them all night. If I was in that line of work, I think that would be a pleasant surprise. Sitting outside an In-N-Out, right after they had stopped serving. Dude rolls up drunk in a nice car. He gets really mad that he can't get a burger, walks up to me, and asks me if he can buy mine. I was 2 bites in already. He gave me $200. I gave him my half-eaten burger and off he went. Edit should not. I'm not a hooker, I just wanted to share my story. I'm not a prostitute, but my friend's dad's cousin's brother-in-law paid a hooker to milk cows with him. A man is sitting at a bar when a lovely young lady of the night comes and sits down next to him. She leans in close, her red lip slightly grazing his ear, and softly whispers, "I'll do anything you want for $200. The man reaches into his wallet, pulls out 2 crisp $100 bills, and slips them into the woman's waiting palm. He leans into her and whispers, paint my house. Been paid to kick a guy in his balls. I've been paid just to cuddle. Weirdest guy for me was the fellow who enjoyed getting sucked off in diapers and requested that I wear one as well. Prostitute here. Just going to say, I've only ever had clients hire me for sexual or company purposes. The reason you won't get a lot of responses to this is that most, and by most, I mean girls who charge a reasonable rate, work indoors, and are not desperate, i.e., not survival workers, only provide specific services, sex, company, pretending to be your girlfriend, etc. You can't just hire us do whatever you want for shits and giggles. The prostitutes you're likely to find on Reddit are the ones doing well enough to sit around being bored, so we don't have to do weird stuff, unless we like it. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to Reddit for more stories.